Therapy Army. Let's be having you, Therapy Army. And no. Guess who is in the house? Guess who's in the house? Of all days today, Andy. I'm going to come to you in a minute, but big up to everybody. Love and light. Obviously, a major decision has been made at Manchester United, and you know what? We're not going to shy away from it. We're going to hit it head on. But big up to everybody, Therapy Army. Smash a like on the video on your way in, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We got our brother Noro Beats to give us a perspective from the outside, what's been going on. He's a football analytics guy. He's an analyst. So he's going to give us the point of view, all right, where he thinks Manchester United might be going wrong. He's a Liverpool fan, but he's very objective, and I do trust him. He's not going to banter us. He's not going to banter us, Andy. I know. He's not here to banter us, but he's going to give us he's going to put his Liverpool allegiance aside. The fact that he was cheering the Spurs goals, like going crazy, you know what I mean? He's going to put that aside.
Nervous is okay, man.
You know what I mean?
Good,
yeah. He's going to put that aside, but he's going to give us that insight into where we might be going wrong structurally in the football. I mean, everybody can see, to be fair, where we were going wrong. But big up to everybody. So big up to Noro Beats. Go and check out his channel as well, Noro Beats Football Analysis.
Yeah, definitely.
Big up my brother Saeed. We've just been on there chopping it up. We disagree on a lot of things. It's been got heated. It is what it is, and we agree on lots of things. But that's how it is, life. And then we got the main man in it. We got the main man on a technicality, right, Andy? I need you to let go about Richard Arnold and the clowns that run this football club. You take it away first.
The only good thing he did was get me daddy's season ticket back. That's all I give to him. But the rest of it is absolute farcical the last 7 days with his football club. Absolute farce. Even I emailed Richard Arnold, and I'm sure he was bamboozled by tons of emails. I bet his phone was melting. You know what I mean? From the Athletic to leak that story out, then approach Man United. Then Man United basically did a full 360, like a toy toys, went inside the shell, panicked, then come out with that statement to test the waters, and then they come out with this. And this is, I say, it stinks. It's the right decision to let him go now, but there's so many contradictions. This is like a kangaroo court. There's so many contradictions in all three of them statements. One from the club, one from Richard Arnold, and then one from Mason Greenwood as well. So there's so many, man. You don't even know where to pick and choose and where to dissect each one. So I think he has to go as well. Richard Arnold fall on his sword. And it just shows what's wrong with our club upstairs, borderline, everything up to the boardroom. Absolute farcical. This was about money. Let's be honest, gentlemen. This was about an expendable asset, like they say in Predator. You're an expendable asset, Mason, and we will try to get you back into the club, but we've got to let you go. So, are we going to terminate his contract, or are United still going to try and get a fee for him? You know what I mean? Are we going to, like, you're talking about a 50 to 80 million pound asset, and this is where Man United. If Man United got any moles, you just let him go. You kiss that 80 million goodbye. But no, they will try and find a way out of it and get some money out of this. Well, what's going on? They will try to find a way to make some money out of this because we're skint because of them. And this is the farcical that we are upstairs. And it's not all on Richard Arnold, as well, though. It's down to the people upstairs. They've put him in this position. So they should have some morals as well, but they don't have morals anyway. So that's the way it is.
But Andy, if you can't stand the heat in the kitchen, what do? You
leave.
Get the hell out of the kitchen.
You leave.
Get the hell out of the kitchen.
Simple.
Get the hell out of
You leave. You leave. Well, who's going to take that? Who's going to take that job?
Listen, my guy made millions on Manchester United. My guy came in a year later when Woodward was there. A year and a half later, my guy was a member of the senior board of Manchester United. And when Woodward left, he made it out like he just come in and he's brand new. No, my guy has been there, oversaw the rot on Manchester United. Because you know why? It's lovely to cream of Manchester United, isn't it? That board, all the board members, by the way, getting bonuses of the Glazers.
Jones with Woodward.
Listen.
They went to the same university, didn't they? The rugby buddies.
Exactly. Listen,
rugby boys.
Rugby union.
Listen,
You do not love football at all.
For those that don't know, what Andy's giving an opinion about is the fact that if you don't know by now, is that Mason Greenwood and Manchester United have come to a lovely, cuddly way of departing, if you want to believe the PR. The guy's contract is going to be terminated. He's going to be paid off. And then Mason Greenwood, tara. That's what's happened. But just to give it, Saeed, please, if you got the statement there, if you could just give it just a little bit to read it out for them, please, bro.
What, the Man United statement on Richard?
The Man United statement. The Man United statement, bro.
Okay, let me get the Man United statement out because that one.
And what was the statement that you got sent, Saeed? Did you get a statement sent to you as well?
No, it was on the website. It was on the website that Man United made.
I got one.
Oh, did you get one?
I got the statement as well. Richard Arnold's one.
Okay, yeah. That one I understand. The one from Manchester United. Give me a sec to kind of find this.
Well, basically, Manchester United in a PR.
Here it is.
Neil Ashton PR way is being said that Mason done nothing. Mason knows he's done nothing, but then he's been allowed to be sacked by Manchester United. And by the way, people, he's been sacked. So whatever they want to dress it up as, however they want to put the cream pie on the top and the cherry and all that on top, he's going to be let go or sent alone or whatever it is. He's not playing for Manchester United for the next couple of seasons.
May I say something? I heard someone on another channel. Richard Arnold heard the audio of the of the incident. Then he says, "You've not heard the full audio." So if there's a full audio claiming that this was not the case with the first clip of the audio, why is it being made to the public? So
there you go.
This is, I heard this on another channel. So why is there? We only got a clip. If there's audio that they proves innocence, why is it being made to the public?
At the end of the day, Saeed, please get it up and just read it out.
I'm going to read the statement. Manchester United have concluded its internal investigation to the allegations made against Mason Greenwood. Our process commenced in 2023, following the charges all against Mason being dropped. Throughout, we have been taking into account wishes, the rights and perspective of the alleged victim, along with the club's standards and values, and sought to collate as much information as context as possible. This has required us to proceed with sensitivity and care to obtain evidence not in the public domain, including from those with direct knowledge of the case. Based on the evidence available to us, we have concluded that the material posted online did not provide a full picture, and that Mason did not commit the offences in respect of which he was originally charged. That said, as Mason publicly announced today, he has made mistakes which he's taken responsibility for. Although all those involved, including Mason, recognise the difficulties with him in recommencing his career at Man United. It has therefore been mutually agreed that it would be appropriate for him to do so away from Old Trafford, and we will now work with Mason to achieve that outcome. So, in a sense, like I said to you, they're basing it on the fact that he has told them that he is innocent. But again, like I said to you, they don't stress enough that the charges have been dropped, in that regard. So, listen, for me, I just think it's a bit of a weak statement. Him, Richard Arnold himself, the way he came out and started to drop pieces of what he believes his angle is, and whatnot, which is a dangerous precedent if you kind of deep it when you actually realize it, and then he kind of talks about, Mason Greenwood in that light. So I just think for me, it was weak and it leaves a lot of questions rather than answers. And yes, we should all move on. And this should be probably the last podcast we do. But reality is the media are going to drip feed so much more information that we don't know about. And it will come through, like you said, Nuruddin, the people within the club that did not want Mason Greenwood back. So they may say, well, in one meeting, Richard Arnold was so keen on bringing it, but on the last minute he decided not to because of the outrage on social media. That is so pathetic. As a fan, I find it very, very, I don't know, man. It's very, very hard to understand how you should be looking at the media, so the fans' perspective, rather than conducting your own internal investigation and realizing what went on and what happened. And it wasn't best to bring him back, rather than look at what the fans said online after you leaked out information to the Athletic. It don't make sense.
Saeed, Manchester small. Andy knows. Big up Nora Beats, but Andy knows. Saeed knows. Manchester small. People senior at Manchester United were leaking stuff that Richard Arnold did, and they were leaking it to Adam Crofton of the Athletic. They were leaking that certain people at Manchester United were not going to go to work. They were going to go on strike, and some of them were going to quit. And here's what Manchester United want you to believe. Here's what Mason Greenwood's statement and Manchester United's statement want you to believe. Mason Greenwood did nothing, but then he's not staying at Manchester United. It's like, I'm sorry to say, no innocent person, that every one of us who believes in whatever justice or believes in the right to the person to be heard, believes that, Andy, I said, put lawyers aside. If somebody accused me of something that horrendous, I'm doing everything to try to clear my name. Everything. I don't give an absolute damn who it is, what my name. I'm coming out and saying, this is the evidence, this is the bigger video, this is what the context is. That's what I'm doing. Legally, Richard Arnold has to say, Mason, because in the court, I don't believe in the courts anyway. I believe there are hundreds of thousands of people locked up in Britain's prisons who are innocent. And lots of more guilty people in this country are never locked up because they just know the loopholes in the law and they've got no money to buy expensive lawyers. So for me, I don't believe in the legal system. I don't believe in it. I don't. Because I've seen it with my own eyes. They're innocent people sitting in jail cells. So for me, I don't even believe in that. But the idea of your name, your reputation as a human being, being accused of serious, and you've done nothing, and you've stayed silent, other than feeding the Sun newspaper little things here and there throughout a couple of months. Nah, mate. Manchester United want you to believe. He can't legally say, in terms of Manchester United that accused Mason Greenwood of doing the crimes. But where's this other evidence? Show us the evidence. Show everybody the evidence, because if you're saying he's guilty, why is he leaving? It's simple. Make it make sense, but they're not, because all of this, people, is called PR speak. All of this here is PR speak. PR speak, and all of it is to make sure that everybody's covered. There's a nice cuddly balance. Mason doesn't feel offended. Manchester United don't feel like they're to be seen to be the right thing. And Andy hit it right on the head. It's about cha-ching, ching, ching. And it comes down to cha-ching, ching. And if anybody says, oh, but Richard Allen's in a difficult situation, get the fuck out the kitchen. If you can't stand the heat and the cooking that pot, get it out. Nurabis, I want to come to you, bro. In a twisted, roundabout way, do you think Manchester United have come just from an outsider's perspective? Do you think they've come to the right decision? Or are you confused like the majority of the fan base, like, and everybody with a statement, like how mad the statements are? Yeah,
exactly. When it first broke, I think it was last week that United are thinking of bringing him back, and I was in total disbelief. I was thinking, how in God's green earth can a situation where we heard the video, we heard the audio, we saw some of the pictures, that they think in 2023 they can get away with it and put this magical, this magical narrative in front of us to say he didn't do nothing. All right, first they said that the audio is not full, and then they said the full audio shows that he's innocent. But then how do you explain those bruises, those cuts on the girl? How do you I don't know, unless they're into some sort of other things, I don't know. But it for me, I was speaking to some of the guys on my WhatsApp group that are United fans. Was like, it's almost impossible for me to see that Mason Greenwood would come back to probably the biggest club in the world, which is Manchester United. Well, to come back with all of those things out. And so when they took it back, I thought, look, this is not an organization that's ran properly, number one. How is it that he can throw out this narrative of bringing him back and then go back on it and then throw it out again and say he's innocent completely? I believe he's innocent. And then the guy is still leaving. So I'm confused as most of you are. And I don't know. It could have been done much, much better and much, much sooner as well.
Yeah, of course. We've had some February. Andy, as a Manchester United fan of for a long time, have you ever seen this? The only thing I can actually think about is that when the club sacked Doherty for having a stuff with the secretary. This is historic, by the way. Doherty was the manager that brought Manchester United back up from Division 2.
I can go back to one. I think it was that early 2010s or something like that. So it'll be in your timeline. Saeed might have known about it. A couple of Man United youngsters on the books on Fergie, and one of them was drink driving outside Carrington. It's a young player, and basically they had a head-on collision, and basically I think he was called Boinks or something.
That's it.
Boinks, and he did a runner. He did a runner from the scene, and basically he ran from the scene of the crime, and there was a crash outside Carrington, and somebody was seriously injured. I think there was 2 guys in the car. I don't know, but he was driving. And he ran from the scene, and his career was finished, terminated immediately. So why did Man United go down? And that is it's a completely different, but let's say that is a serious crime as well. What would happen? Drink driving, leaving the scene of a crime. Contract terminated. I think he even did jail time. I don't know.
The people got hurt. I remember the people got hurt. People were seriously hurt.
People were seriously hurting right outside Carrington as well. So, a crime like that, in itself, is a sackable offence. So why, like you say, why have we taken this tone of line and dragged it out as it was? Why, when we should have just parted ways straight away? So like you say, that's the only one I can think of in the last 15 years. Tommy Docherty you can go back to as well. That's it in the 70s, but that was before. Tommy Docherty was like, Tommy Docherty fell in love. And he stayed with his wife till his dying day.
So to give the context, Docherty was married. Obviously, it was a certain different kind of society in the 1970s, right? Docherty was married, man. He fell in love with his secretary, and then it came out that he was having an affair. Manchester United sacked him. But then they stayed together because they were in love. They stayed together till the end. You know what I mean? So
and at the end of the day, passed away about, was it 18 months ago?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they stayed together till the very end. So that's a scenario of a different thing. But like I say, the only one on that is the drink driving charge from about 15 years ago with that young player who done a runner. That's all I can think of.
No, 100%. Big up everybody. Somebody just said, big up Christopher for the chat. He said, people hated, but said Jim would have stood still like the Glazers have. Look at cycling team, Ineos, for proof. Young world-class talent like Piddock and Rodriguez. At the end of the day, so are you doing a Sir Jim Radcliffe prop here? Is that what you're doing? Is that, please let me understand that, Saeed and Andy. Somebody please read this to me. Is that what he's doing here?
No, he's trying to say basically that Sir Jim would have done the same anyway, like the Glazers have done here. That's what he's trying to say.
At the end of the day,
I don't think he's giving props.
Listen, at the end of the day,
Sir Jim would have passed the buck on to somebody else to make the decision.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's simple, innit? There's no humanity in these people call it morals. I'm saying it humanity. I can hear some noise. Where's that noise coming from? Is it you? Is that the audio? Big up, bro. No repeats. Listen, at the end of the day, it's simple. I say it. Manchester United made a decision in it that now when people like me are screaming in spaces, or when people like me are on Twitter, and people like me are getting accused of being negative, when I'm telling you who are running your football club, Manchester's small. We know people who work for this football club. We speak to people off the record. I'm telling you now, Mason Greenwood being put back in that club would have split the club. I'm telling you now. It wasn't just Richard. It was senior figures, board members who do not want this guy back. It was them that did not want this guy back. And that's why Adam Crofton, Saeed, Andy, and Nurabeats was getting blow by blow. Listen to me. Was getting blow by blow from senior sources at Manchester United. Yeah. And other people at the football club were like, nah. And players as well. That's the people are forgetting. There were players saying it's not happening. Now, can we just ask this question, because I really want to move on from this, because we were talked about this. He's no longer a Manchester United player. He's one player, and Manchester United have got 99 problems. 99 other problems. And Greenwood ain't one at this moment in time on the playing side. So let's swiftly move along, people. Let's swiftly move along to the fact that Manchester United, it's been 2 games. Some of us might be overreacting. But I'm not overreacting from the 2 games, what I saw. I'm overreacting what I saw, the football that I saw since February. That's what I'm overreacting. And the away games, Manchester United don't turn up. And how the players are cowards. The players, for me, is on a lot of the players. And it's also on Eric Tenhag. Tenhag has to take some of the part of the blame. The players on the pitch have to take a part of the blame. And all of those Muppets, all of those Murder Madness crew, where are you? I can't find you. I can't find you, Murder Madness. I'm not talking about people like Danny. Listen to me. I'm not talking about people like Devil in the Detail, my brother. I'm not talking because me and him have a joke. Me and him have a joke. He knows it's a joke. But I'm talking about all the other people who said this transfer window's been successful. We've got our business done early. Manchester United are not getting bent over. Listen, the manager wanted Kim Min-jae, not got Kim Min-jae. He wanted Harry Kane, didn't get Harry Kane. So I'm sorry to say, he got Mason Mount, which will always be on him. It will be on him because he's come out, he's on camera saying he loves Mason Mount, he likes the player, and that will always be on him, right? Other than that player, Højlund, he wanted Kane. Onana, everybody knew David De Gea had to be moved on. So I'm sorry, where's his Murder Madness crew? Where are you? Where are you? So when I look at this, yes, you can criticize the manager. You can criticize the manager, and also do not want him gone. There's a big difference between manager out and criticizing the manager. I'm sorry, children. I'm sorry, children. I'm really sorry, children. There is something, and I have to repeat for the children at the back. There is a big difference for saying with your chest, I don't think this manager's going to make it. This manager out. And there's a difference saying, no, this manager has to get this shit right. So when people are like, oh, don't panic, it's only 2 games. I saw it since February. Go ahead, Andy.
Oh, I totally agree with what you said. I mean, I said this on the paddock on Saturday. I will criticise Tenhag for that team selection. He has backed that squad for 2 games and they have delivered nothing. Absolutely toothless apart from a 45-minute performance. And, you know, it's on him. He's put faith with them players and they have not delivered. So I think this weekend it's time to shake it up a bit. Let a few players feel the wrath. You know what? It's not working out. You're going to have to sit on the bench. You know what I mean? Palestra, bring him in. Anthony, bin him. You know what I mean? That is an immediate start. Rashford, you're not a striker. You're on the wing. Somebody up front, maybe Højlund's available.
Is he gone? Yeah.
You're so fucking deluded. So fucking deluded. Yes, Noureddin's right, though. We have been on the wane since the Carabao Cup final. And players have not picked up the fucking book and accepted we have not done right. We stuttered across the line to get the Champions League. We have been smashed. We have been smashed left, right, and centre by football teams. Sorry, it's gone. So we've been smashed by our rivals and we did not deliver in an FA Cup final. And it's unacceptable and it's starting again. This is on the level of absolutely everything.
Andy, Andy, me and you are watching that, and maybe me and you are the oldest in here, right? We've been to Old Trafford, we don't mind getting beat. But I want my team to compete. I don't want my team getting bopped all over that fucking foot. Saeed, what do I always say to you? There's a right way of losing and there's a wrong way of losing. There's a cowardly way and there's a courageous way of losing. I take losing all day. But I want my team to play football, Andy. I want you to lose courageously. I don't want you to be cowards. I don't want you getting bobbed all over that fucking back by Spurs. It's not happening to my football club. I reject it.
Exactly. We do not want to see what we have stuttered basically since the Carabao Cup final. Me and Saeed thought this is the good times are rolling, man.
Yeah.
We're going for the fucking cup treble. And we were so in control against Sevilla. And we were fucking right. We got a chance of 3 cups. And we got a chance of finishing in the top 4. And we just capitulated from Sevilla onwards, even the second leg.
Can I just say something as well? Like, I think these players need to understand that the football is 90 minutes, or even now 100 minutes now. You know, it's not just 45 minutes. And listen, this is why for me, I can't praise 45-minute football. If the football finished at 45 minutes, then I would have said, you know what, fair enough, you've done well. But it doesn't. It's 100 minutes, and that's why for me, everything goes out the window if the second half performance results in A, a loss, and B, the man of the performance is dropped from the first half. It just goes against everything you've done. And that's why it's like, I just can't, it's unforgivable, man. And Ten Hag, why I'm like, he has to drop players is because then you are endorsing this sort of performances. You are enabling these sort of performances. You are saying that this is good enough, and you know what? And you know what it is. I don't want him to back the players into when he says about the midfield is all right. They did all right. What does that say? Like, I don't know if you've seen the midfield. I don't know if Nerdbeats will be able to kind of talk about this, but did you see the comments about the midfield and what he said? Like, if you were Klopp right now, sorry, if you were a Liverpool fan right now, and you heard Klopp saying that, and your midfield wasn't performing, you're not going to feel well, are you? You're not going to feel good about your team, are you?
Now, of course, let me just get rid of these super chats quickly. Bale meant she should not be pregnant. Listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? In the midst of all this chaos, the worst outcome is the Glazers are staying, which is looking more like every day. So big up Black Confetti and Tom Goldsworthy. We don't know gems of it, but one thing I do know, nobody's come out from the Greenwood side or from the football club saying those the photos that we seen and what we heard was faked or was doctored or was made up. Nobody can come and testify to that. So take it how you leave it. That's my last word on the Greenwood thing. Go ahead, Nurabi. In terms of the analysis of the game.
Yeah, no. Like when I was watching the game, the first half it was quite decent from Man United side. However, we saw the same thing happen at Anfield. Remember when Man United had a decent first half as well. But the second half, the way they just allowed Tottenham to dominate that central area in midfield. I mean, if we look at the average position in there, you'll see for Man United they have like Bruno, Casemiro, and Mount all clustered towards the right side, and you see on the left side there's a massive hole where Sarr was actually having a field day, and you could see it coming. United were just all over the place, especially their midfield was just so spread apart sometimes as well. Casemiro was just all the way down the right, Mount all the way down the left. And if I saw that, like, and when I was discussing it with some of the United guys on the WhatsApp, I'm thinking, how is it possible that United 2 games in a row, their midfield is just being bypassed again and again and again and again without the management or the manager himself, giving a bollocking? Because I was watching him on the sideline. He was just like, I could see him seething inside, but he needs to come out and tell these guys, listen, it's almost impossible for you to get away with, being so spread out at the same time and away from and leaving massive holes for United, for Spurs to take advantage of.
Oh, you could drive a bus through it, like I say, against Wolves. They were all on strike in Manchester that week against Wolves. No, they did have to bike it to the ground. You know what I mean? So, yeah, absolutely midfield non-existent last 2 games.
To me, at the end of the day, I look at it, I think Manchester United turned up for half an hour. We didn't score. I know that he has to get the players on side. I know that he has to try to lie to us. He has to make it about the talking point about the referee.
Facts.
But now we're seeing the club are making it about the referee. Bruno now playing the victim, saying, oh, referees might not disrespect him. Referees might not talk to him and all of this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's simple and it's clear there. I'm sorry to say, but Bruno, you were on that pitch for 60 minutes. Manchester United got bopped all over the fucking park. Where were you? Were you? Right?
Why isn't there Bruno admitting that fair enough, he's entitled to have a pop at the referee to say what he says and demand an apology? But why aren't you criticising the team's performance and your own performance for that woeful second half?
To be fair, apparently he said, I had a chance and it's my fault. Like, I should have buried that chance. But I'm sorry, you are on the football pitch. And the thing about Erik Tenhag, last season, we were all praising him, and rightly so, when he was tweaking games, making subs quite early and tweaking games and tactically. All those subs that he made, were then were in part of the goal contribution to winning games.
Not away from home, Nuruddin.
Listen, not away from at home. Yeah, at home he was doing it. So for me, it's a fundamental thing about cowardice. It's about courage. It's about the manager's tactics. You can't go and play the same way you play when you play at home in the Premier League. This ain't the area divisor. Unless you've got the players that can follow your tactics to the T. No repeats. They can't follow the tactics to the T. You have to change it. Listen, Andy, I posted it on my Twitter, right? And it's there. The interviews, there's on YouTube, and I'll send you the link. he did an interview. I think it might have been Sky or with a club channel, right? And he basically says, "Oh, I want to play this style of football, but the players are not competent enough to play that my style of football, so I have to adapt to them." No, fuck that, Ten Hag. The players have to adapt to you. What you want, pal?
That's what makes a winning team. That's why all these City players have adapted to Pep's fucking style of play. Pardon me.
You get the fuck out. You get out.
And Klopp. The players reacted to a style of play, and that's why they have been successful. Any manager, the players react to their style, and that's why you get successful teams. It's not dictated because of your fucking players. The players are still dictating the manager. If that's what he's saying, they're still dictating him because they can't adapt to his style of play. So what the fuck does that say? The team is still below fucking par.
But of course it is. Andy, I'm not going to lie to you. That's what he said. I'll send you the link, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. Send me a message on Twitter. He's literally out there. And the guy asked him, so you have to abandon your side? He's like, no, I have to look at the players, what I have, and I have to adapt to them.
He's bought a couple of these players, though. Anthony, Mount, these are his players, though. So it's not, I feel like for me, it's contradictory again, his statement. It's like he's saying that I have to do with the players I've got, but these are his players. He doesn't have to play Rashford up front. He played false nine Sancho throughout the whole preseason. I'm sorry, man, but this is on you, my friend. Why did you play Sancho all preseason, false nine, if you're going to tell us Rashford is playing up front and he can't do it? You can clearly see it. He's probably thinking Rashford in his head. And by the way, this is not excuse Rashford performances, by the way. But what I'm trying to say is that he must be confused, thinking, hold on a minute. You played Sancho through the middle and you told me I'm on the left or I'm on somewhere else. And now all of a sudden, you're playing me through the middle. What's going on? Why change? And Sancho must be thinking to himself, hold on a minute. What have I done? What have I done wrong?
And let me just add to that. And that's where players sniff when a manager isn't true to his own identity and beliefs here. That's when players actually take the piss, because if you're not firm from day one, this is how we're playing, I don't give a shit. If you can't play it, you're out the door, and you got to stick with it. And I remember talking about, you guys mentioned Klopp. Klopp came in and said, this is how I play. Anyone that's not on it, out the door. Sacco was one of probably best defender at the time. Sacco wasn't adapting well to it, and he was like, there's the door. And so with Erik Ten Hag, my little opinion or my theory is the first two games at United shook him a little bit, because he lost to Brighton and he lost to Brentford. And I think that plus, what's his name? McLaren in his ear told him, listen, I don't think your full philosophy is going to work here. And I think that shook him to a core a little bit and made him, I'm not going to say cowardly, but made him like a little bit like take off that armor that he had, that my football, because every manager is supposed to believe that their football is the best, their style is the best. And that's, especially if you're coming into a team like Man United, if you don't believe it, then those players, once they get a sniff of it, you lose them. And when you lose them is when the issues start happening. They stop running for you, they stop working hard for you. And with players in the background, I know that Maguire and Dean Henderson are not happy with him. Those players in the background, then they start to thrive and they start to whisper to the others, you know what, the doubts start creeping in. And once the doubts start creeping in, it's like it's a sorry state of a training ground.
I'm not going to lie to you. There is something fundamentally going on. I think it might be the Greenwood thing. I think that the fatigue from last season, the same players being used, that the players are frustrated with the signings that we made. Ten Hag might be frustrated with the signings that we made. It could be loads of different things. But Andy, it doesn't look right. Yeah. And they're flying all over that fucking continent. That's the US. That's not going to help anybody, is it? When has that ever helped anybody?
Do you remember Mourinho?
As well?
We went to the Far East with Mourinho. Do you remember the Mourinho at the start of his second season? We went to the Far East to play a game. It was called off against Man City. And we flew back to Australia and we flew back to Old Trafford. And Jose was just spitting feathers left, right and centre. And we never got off to a good start. Oh, I remember we won our first game against Leicester and we just fucking nosedived after that. Defeat, win, defeat, win, defeat, win. But you say, I'm still backing a manager on this. But these players like that, fundamentally, there is something mentally wrong. It's okay to be winning one week and losing the other. And it's just not fucking acceptable. And these fucking players think it's okay to just fucking lose.
It's the players, Andy. Luke Shaw. How long has he been here? How many batteries has Luke Shaw had? Psychologically as well, Luke Shaw. He's had a lot of batteries, so he's going to think, you know what? Yeah, I get to play.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's all right. We got spanked 7-0, 6-3. I'm not fucking arsed. I'll get my money.
I don't know the kid. I don't know the kid personally, but on the football pitch, he's a fucking coward. He's a fucking coward. Let's call it right. He's a coward. When was the last time Luke Shaw had anybody in his pocket as a left winger? Any left wingers in his pocket? To me, he looks so much better as a centre half, left-sided centre half, than he does as a left back. He runs. He lets Garnacho, a young kid, go out to Kolevskeski, and you know he was going to do that. He, instead of going out to him earlier, lets him come in our 6-yard area on that near post and do what he does. You're asking for trouble. Once you let a player into the 6-yard box in that area on that cutback, you're asking for fucking problem. You meet the challenge head on way before he gets into the area. You get that. You try to get him at a corner, whatever. Tackle him. Big up Tom Goldworth. He says, Tadic and Hala is standard in everything. You know what, bro? Tadic and Hala were balling out in the Champions League. So let's be right here. Those two were balling out under a system where Eric Tenhag, and that's why we wanted him at this football club. Let me just get this in the super chat. Big up, people. Love and light. I want to come. Yeah. I want to come to what other people are saying, but I want to go to Neurobeats to prepare for this analysis. Big up. It just says here, it's Pep's way or the highway. Tenhag needs to be stubborn in his implementing his style instead of trying to accommodate individuals, and that's a big mistake you can make. Andy knows it. Saeed knows it. Neurobeats knows it. In football, there's a culture. Manager has to be a dictator in a certain way, because manager, at the end of the day, you're going to get the one to get the sack. They're not going to sack 22 players. They're going to sack you.
No.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm like, don't reveal your mask.
You
don't
either say,
early.
Either my way or the fucking highway. It's simple.
Yeah.
Neurobeats, even in our pressing, I looked at, to me, I call it out. It ain't personal to Rashford. I don't know fucking Rashford.
Yeah.
I know people who know Rashford, but I don't know him personally. So it ain't personal to him. But he's a shitback presser as well. So I want to use the word cowards. When you're fucking pressing, make sure you press and you don't have fucking press. Don't press like a fucking coward. So please.
Why don't you put Anthony into that equation as well?
Oh yeah. Listen.
Fucking shocking Saturday. Absolutely fucking shocking. Ollie, I remember me and Saeed, we did a review at the end of the season with on a Sunday night, and the players who were on fucking basically they've got 12 months to prove themselves. And Anthony was top of the fucking agenda. He has got to buck up his fucking ideas. There's no responsibility. All he does is run with his fucking head down. When he gets it, he just fucking blazes it over again. He's not. He's trying with the same
crazy.
left
It's
foot.
absolutely
He's doing
crazy.
Fuck all with his right.
Listen,
fuck all. And do you know what? Palestri Saturday replacement for him. I'm all
to start, by the way.
for it.
Oh, did you see when he came on? Did you see when he came on? Listen, I'll say this in football. You know, in football, you know what you're looking for in an attacking sense, right? In football, this is Nuruddin with his tactical football thing. It's how I was coached. I was coached. So there's nothing new in football, people. When people go, oh, this is new. No, there is nothing new. In football, you were told when you were a wide guy, what does a wide guy do? Wide guy lets you eliminate the fullback. When you eliminate the fullback, the centre half then has got to come out to you. Then that means your striker has more room. That means your attacking midfielder, number 10, has more room. That means your number 8 guys have more room. That means the other winger has more room. And when I look at Garnacho, and Garnacho for me is he still did what we see last season was amazing. But from the two things that I've seen, two performances I've seen so far, he is more of an impact player. He's not ready to start football games yet.
No.
Because he does the same thing. And when a young player as well, teams learn about your strengths and weaknesses. So they know what to do, show you the wrong side where you can't go, right? But what I know, Neurobeats, is this. I know that when it comes to a pressing style, or when it comes to wingers, wide guys are in the team for one and two things. You either eliminate your defender, right, or a couple of defenders and score, or you lay somebody else on. And both of Manchester United wingers are not doing that. But I want you to tell me a little bit about our press, because Eric Tenhag said the press, like it was with Liverpool, the press has to be the number 10. We're going to be one of the best transitional teams in the world. So when I looked at our pressing, the way we press, the reason why teams are breaking on us, because the press is helter fucking skelter.
Yeah.
You notice though,
It's so true.
do you notice when Palestri came on, the impact he had, and he actually had Tottenham running scared for about 5-10 minutes. Yep. And he ran in there at the end, and it wasn't a penalty, but I tell you what, he was causing trouble down that right side.
Yeah,
it was really good.
100%. And with regards to pressing, what you said, yeah, remember Liverpool's last season? A lot of people said Liverpool, the issues that they have in last season was the midfield, blah blah blah. But I said 100%, it's because Mane was the trigger. Mane was gone. That trigger of pressing and his intelligence of pressing was so underrated. Nobody really thought about it because and also you got to commit to the press. You can't. Man United were doing a lot of half-hearted pressing where they will go press the person. As soon as he turns them, they're doing this. They're doing this, and they're not hunting in packs. You got to press. Once, let's say for example, Mason Mount presses on the right. Someone has to be ready just in case he turns to go and press him. And this was not happening at all. What would happen is Mason Mount will press, and the guy will turn this way, he'll do this, and no one else is there. And so when the press is broken, and can I say, Rashford is a horrible, horrible presser. The guy, I've been saying this from since that 5-0. Remember when Liverpool beat United 5-0? I was like, Rashford is causing a lot of it because he was playing on the left. And he was not tracking Trent at all. And so he's just horrible.
No, but the tactics that we played, to be fair to Rashford, bro, the tactics we played with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at that time was that he wanted to have that cheat code where the two wide guys don't track their guys. They're on a cheat code because Manchester United win the ball back. Those guys are ready to go. That's what the tactics was. That's what the tactics was, bro. And I know that was specific. And that was something that we noticed on the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The two wide guys were always left. They weren't supposed to chase back. They're there to be released because we were a low block football team. Now, when you talk about the press in terms of what we see, let's say what you said. If, let's say, it was Garnacho pressing, Mason Mount then backs him up as a left-sided midfielder, backs him up. Luke Shaw then gets up there and backs him up. Alessandro Martinez then comes across and backs him up.
Exactly.
Then the centre aspect of it is Bruno, Casemiro, Varane. All of those are lopsiding and backing him up to squeeze the play, put pressure. And you know when teams press, it's a triangle. They press in threes and hunt in packs. Manchester United are not doing it. So we're confused about the tactics. We're so confused about this.
In defense of Mason Mount, though, I have to say the issue that he had, and this is to do with his pressing and nothing to do with his on the ball stuff. He's pressing, but what what's his name, man? Postecoglou,
yeah.
Postecoglou, yeah.
Ange, just call him Ange.
Ange, what Ange did, he put Porro central and left Sarr available. So the issue that he had was, should he go on Porro or should he just hold back and stay with Sarr? That confused him a little bit. And I think that might have led to the whole pressing coming down, because you got to be clear of who you're going to press. And this is where Tenhag has to take some of the blame, because if Spurs start to make in-game changes, he has to get that message across. Listen, they've changed this up. You need to press this man now. And this is the guy that you need to look after. And Martinez, you go after Sarr. And Casemiro, you just sweep up anything that comes loose in the area, which wasn't happening. So what happened was, Maddison was isolating Casemiro, and Bruno. He's an issue because he goes anywhere. He's not disciplined enough. He's not tactically disciplined enough to play centrally. So he's an emotional guy. So he'll go wherever his emotions take him, in my opinion. And 100%. So you can't build around that.
You can see that clearly. And Andy even knows that. You see Andy's body language. Bruno is that guy. You know what? I was at the Wolves game. Bruno was jumping out of the middle every given opportunity. I'm like, why are you jumping out? You're leaving a massive gap. Indiscipline ain't the fucking word. That's why we always call him the headless chicken presser. Headless chicken presser. You can't press somebody by yourself. You've got to do it as a pack. Andy, we saw it. What Nurabits is talking about is Maddison in the second half said, you know what? I'm going to hang out on the left. I'm going to hang out on the left, you know, and I'm going to even just stay around here because tactically we got it so that I'm the one that's going to isolate whoever comes in this. And you know what? That's what he started doing damage, getting on the ball, playing those little balls. They started getting hold in possession. He was like, I'm not going to stay central with you guys because Casemiro won a couple of balls in the first half an hour, first 30 minutes. We do not react. We looked confused, FC Andy. You saw the bench. What the fuck is going on with this football club? Because Tenhag knows. He can see. He knows what's going on. We can see it, Andy. Why can't he not fucking see it?
I think he does see it, but he won't openly admit it because I seen his interview and I'm like, fucking hell, man. Didn't you see what we seen second half? Seriously, like last week as well. Didn't you see? I know last year he gave him 2 games to bed in, didn't he? Last season he gave them players a chance to prove themselves, and within 2 games he rips up the book and all these, and we had to go out after that Brentford game when we had to buy some players. Now, is this on the same level for next week? If we get done Saturday, are we going to go into crisis? Are we going to fucking crisis? If we perform like we perform on Saturday and we fucking struggle or even lose to Nottingham Forest, and I tell you what, Anthony Elanga's going to be well up for this on Saturday if he's playing as well. So that's the 2 fingers up to Tenhag. And I'm telling you, you will see a reaction from basically panic stations. They say, we'll go out and buy Amrabat. Why aren't we getting fucking Amrabat now? Why do we have to fucking wait and panic when we should be out now getting the players we need to help the midfield? Mount needs help.
Andy, they told you, mate, madness, Andy.
You can't judge Mason Mount on 2 fucking games.
Exactly.
You judge him on like you said it on Saeed's channel before. I was watching you in the background. 15 to 20 games. You give him a season. You give him at least 6 months. That's what you do. Then you judge him. Then you start pointing fingers. What the fuck is going on, Tenhag? You wanted this player. You can't judge after 2 games a manager and his judgment on players and the players' performances. But players, like you say, they need to be on this fucking game. And if we stutter like we do on Saturday, fucking hell, man, the knives are going to be out. Questions
Andy,
are going to be
I'm not going to lie to you. Andy, that's why we titled the video Tenhag's Under Pressure. Because at Manchester United, it's a circus. The pressure, normal other football clubs, they're just going through a bad period. Remember at Arsenal? They go through a bad period. At Manchester United, Nurabits, you're not allowed to go have a bad period unless the fans see something in the play. Like I said to Andy, we're part of that golden generation. We saw Manchester United lift every fucking trophy there is. Every trophy there is. We don't mind losing, but it's the way we lose. It's the way we lose, bro. Like,
exactly.
At the end of the day, Tenhag has to show us something that he's going to work out and is going to get something. Guys, there's over 300 of you in here. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed.
I go back to the defeats. So Liverpool spanked 5-0, 4-0, 7-0. No fucking reaction whatsoever. No accountability whatsoever. And it's still no accountability. You know, with the performances, Bruno moaning, yes, you should have had a pen. But how about, like, say, yes, he criticised his own performance. How about you criticise the rest of the fucking team as well, Bruno? You were bollocking them against Wolves. I even watched it because I was in an arse stand with my mate. I watched Bruno berate that fucking midfield and berate that back 4. And they went fucking past you like an F1 car, Wolves. And look at Wolves on Saturday. They were fucking well drilled, well oiled, done and dusted by a Brighton side. Brighton, and we say they're on another level. Do you know what I mean? And
We've got to play them in a couple of weeks.
We got Wolves got fucking rinsed by fucking Brighton, and Wolves nearly rinsed us. So what?
But we're playing Brighton soon, Andy.
Is fucking wrong. Bruno is supposed to be the captain. He's not leading. He's fucking moaning, and he should look at your fucking self as well. So there's no collective responsibility. One or two do accept it. Marcus Rashford throwing down his fucking water bottle. You wanted this mega fucking contract, Rash, yeah? You what? Last season, you led the line. Now you want to be a number fucking 9. You got your contract. You fucking demanded that contract. Now, you start fucking delivering goals, mate. You are not a number 9. Oh, I can play a number 9. It's like playing a video game without reading the fucking instructions. Oh, I just bash the buttons. That's all he's doing.
Andy, I'm not going to lie to you. It looked like I just wanted to get on that pitch if I was a United fan, run on the pitch and give him a fucking dummy. Sulk on that fucking guy. By the way, he doesn't want to play as fucking number 9. He says that I'm not a number 9. He says it all the time. He doesn't want to play there. But you know what? The days that are gone, Andy, where footballers of our generation, they used to do a job for the fucking team and for the football club. Whatever position you put them in, they will fucking
now,
do a job.
They're not. Only want to play it suits them. They only want to
brands,
play
Andy. Full of brands, Andy. Full about a brand. It's all about protecting the brand. And and him throwing out. He's like, listen, where's that energy with your press? That frustration. Where was it in the fucking press, Rashford? Where was it? It wasn't fucking there, was it? So it's okay for you to sit down and throw shit. Why were you not tackling someone? You know what Roy King said? Hit somebody. Something might change. Slam somebody.
No, we did. If Rashford is on 0 goals by Christmas, he is going to get fucking pelters. Even November, he's going to get fucking pelters. Seriously, what the fuck's going on? Keep spitting, Andy. Yeah, we'll keep spitting. I'll keep venting. They say, Rashford, you wanted this mega fucking contract. Now it's time for you to fucking deliver with your big
Luke
speech.
Shaw as well while you're there.
Trophies.
Luke Shaw while you're there as well.
Yeah, I remember his big speech. I want to win trophies. I want to lead the line. Well, mate, well. You're in that position now. Fucking deliver, or the knives are going to be coming after you, mate. Criticism is always there. I will criticize my club. I will back my club. I will praise my club. Absolutely love my club. When we won the Carabao Cup, this ball's rolling. This ball's rolling. Within a few weeks, fucking hell, we've stagnated. We've struck. Basically, that Carabao Cup. Then that was the high. Then we got smashed 7-0 by Liverpool at Anfield. That was it. And we fucking struggled to get across the line. And fucking weak, inept fucking play got us to the Champions League and fucking give City a treble. And that's what it fucking is. And all we got from Bruno is like that. And Rashford, I'm sorry. Well, in the words of Justin Timberlake, cry me a fucking river, Rashford. Cry me a fucking river, Man United. Are you going to play like this all season? Cry me a fucking river and stop fucking crying for sympathy, because you're not going to get anything from this fucking fan base. Start performing. Start realising you are at a club where you need to perform to the highest elite mentality. Even if you're doing fuck all in the title race, you got to do it on the fucking pitch for the sake of the fucking fans at Old Trafford. Home and away, you pay good money to watch you and your fucking overzealous fucking idiots on that pitch.
Gone are the days where strikers are expected just to put the ball in the net. I'm sorry. These young kids is growing up now. You got to work off the ball as well as on it. So these guys need to understand that pressing is going to be part, especially the top teams, is going to be part of your game. And
even
you need to adapt.
Mo Salah will defend. Mo Salah will do a midfield job and he'll do a striker up front. That's what, and I admire Mo Salah for that. But none of our fucking United players will do that. Play one position and stay there.
Listen, I want to come to Nora Beats, but business says, I said this about Garnacho. Listen, Garnacho is a kid. He's a kid. There's 10 other fucking senior players on that fucking football pitch. And you know what they do? 10, you know when you got a young kid like him, who's not seasoned in pro, seasoned in out pro, you know what you do? You look after him. You fucking protect him. That's what you do. But instead, because you can't even help yourself. Never mind helping the youngster of managing him throughout the fucking game. Nora Beats, listen, me and Andy are hot-headed, passionate Man United fans, right? Sometimes we disagree.
Shit.
I'm always on the fucking football club because of my football structure. I believe in my heart of heart, until the Glazers fuck off or they put people in charge who know what the fuck they're doing and they turn the club from being a PR fucking spin thing into really wanting to win, we're never going to win a Champions League or a league title. We're not going to do that. As an outsider, with your objective head, how does Ten Hag fix this? And do you agree with me or disagree with me in terms of the way that football club is, the way that we're run?
Yeah.
But first of all, on the football side, how does Ten Hag fix this?
The only way he fixes it is he has to stick to whatever he believes is the right way of playing football. This trying to please people or trying to take shortcuts and work with people that you don't believe in. Like I admired him for doing what he did to Maguire. However, you can't at the same time just say, my man, he's got the qualities to do it. He should do it. And then now look what he's. For me, I personally think the reason Maguire is staying is because of that last comment that Ten Hag said about him. You need to leave, and so maybe out of spite, he's staying there. However,
I'm not going to lie to you. I think when Manchester United as a football club has accepted £30 million, Maguire is staying because he tried to bend the clan over. He wants 15 million of that 30 million to be paid up for his wages. Right? Wow. That's the reason why Maguire won't go. Because again, everything with his football club, Andy will tell you, cha-ching, ching, ching. Always about that. It's never about anything else. It's about how can I get the piece of the pie, piece of this cake. But in terms of on the football pitch,
yeah, he needs to just stick to his whatever he believes is the correct way of playing. You said that he came out with I can't play my football because of the players we've got. You have to play no matter what. Has Brighton got better players than Man United? No, because the Zerbi's playing exactly the way he believes football needs to be played. Potter was playing exactly the same way. Yeah, the pressures are different, but you got to stick to that. When players, like I've been around pro clubs, and when a manager shows the weakness of not sticking to his principles or his philosophy, that's when he gets eaten alive, because they smell blood, they smell weakness, so they go and eat. It's basically like being a parent. If you're not firm with your kids and they see a chink in that armor, they're gonna be playing that again and again and again against you. Like, oh, come on! If they found you as a soft guy that gives in after a while, they'll be playing at you. Yeah, we can get it off Dad anyway, because I can just give it. Exactly.
Soft-centered manager.
Exactly. So if he wants to get the club right again, he needs to first of all fix, like, if it has to be Bruno has to come out of the side for a while, he has to do it, because he needs to become solid again, get those midfielders compact, hard to break down, hard to beat, and working hard. If they don't do that, I'm struggling to see how United will emulate finishing third again like they did last season. Because last season what he did was, at least in the beginning, was he brought the team together. Let's be compact and hard to beat. Once you do that, then you slowly get out of there and try to create your philosophy with the players you bought. Mason Mount, I couldn't understand it. Me and you had exchanges over WhatsApp when Mason Mount was linked. It was like, I can see him, what he'll bring off the ball, but when you're on the ball, what do you bring to the table is the question. And Man United, for me, is far too unpredictable in midfield for me to say, yes, I can see this coming from Man United at the moment. If he finds a system where it suits Mason Mount and Bruno being at the same team, then maybe he should go for that. But with regards to the club,
go on. Do we? Go on. Sorry.
No, go on.
If we continue on this slide, do we have to revert back to what we were doing last season to get a stable foothold to try and get a run of games going and get some points on the board? That's what scares me. We were supposed to start this season playing some attacking football. The football we know we can play, we've seen it in little bits, but we may have to revert back to what we know to get up the league, beat a few teams. And if we have to do that, fine. If our home form got us over the line to the Champions League, we've lost 1 Old Trafford, we drew 2 last season. So we may have to revert back to that and try not to get smashed on the road, picking up, like I say, if we only come away with like 6 defeats this season on the road, I'm happy. But he's saying we may have to revert Norridin back to what we know just to get some fucking results and points on the board and goals.
Facts.
Yeah,
Listen,
you know.
I'm just gonna play this bit of video, right? This bit of audio, so people can hear it. This is Erik Tenhag on his own words, and I posted this on Twitter when I seen it because I was disturbed by it, and I was shocked that majority of the fans didn't realize. Listen to him carefully. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Ready?
Yeah.
How much more settled do you feel as this club's manager now compared to this point of last season?
When you first come in, you have to learn to know what the club is, what the people are, and so you don't have so much background. Now you have much more background, and then you feel settled in, and then you can make next step, especially when you construct a foundation as we did last season.
Does it make you a better manager having that knowledge now than you were at this point last year to know all the details about your players, about the club, about the league, the country, everything?
It doesn't make you a better manager because last year you just don't know, and on a certain point you have to step in. But I think so. In the moment you get appointed, there was also one of the questions: where are you from knowledge from Premier League football? I think when you say it in a note, it's like a 4 or 5. But in the moment we started the league, I was on a 7.5 or 8 because you're putting their effort in to know everything, and so gathering all the information. I do it by many things like the video, but also therefore you have your staff, your coaches who are telling you a lot. So you get a lot of information, and now of course you know a lot more when you are 1 year around.
Does that make you more confident then heading into this season than last year?
No, last year I had also confident, but it's obviously we are now in a better position as we constructed last season. I think a strong foundation, and especially for me, it's always the most important, the way of play. And you have to convince your players the way you do it. But once you have that, once you have put that philosophy in, then you can go in more and more in detail. And detail that makes a difference.
How much is the club and the tradition of the club? I was interested in some of the things that you said on the pre-season tour about the way that Manchester United have played in the past, the expectation of the fans. How much does that influence your vision for what your United is going to look like?
No, it's a part of it. And you see, so what do fans expect from your team? And go in that historical prospect. But definitely one of the things what's most important is what are your players like? And always your players, they dictate how you have to play. And you can't put your own vision only on players when they are not capable of doing that vision.
So does that mean that your vision of Manchester United has changed at all from when you first arrived to now?
No, because as I said, when I was appointed, and I know like 4.5, but once you're coming in and you go into the team, you go in the individual players and you make analysis of their competences, what they are capable of doing, and from there on you are building your way of play.
You said on the tour as well about it being far too early to talk about winning the title or this season or anything like that.
Forget about that. We're definitely not fucking winning a title. But do you get a sense of that? He kind of contradicts himself a little bit. He said he wants to get the footballers to get used to the way he wants to play and introduce bit by bit but then he says, no, I have to adapt to the way players play. And that's not lost in translation, people. He's basically saying that some of our players are not competent enough to play the type of football he wants to play. I know the 3 elements that he wants in the football as a team. He wants aggression, intensity, and physicality. And Manchester United, in the last 2 games, have lacked the intensity, the physicality, their fucking aggression, and whatever else you want to put on them. They have been cowardly and cowards. And we should have conceded a penalty. That was a penalty. But I'm not going to moan about other penalty that should have been for us. As a Manchester United fan, from an early age, Andy will tell you this. You're told, the way I was brought up, people would tell me, if Manchester United leave the game to the referee to decide, we're going to lose every time. Because people don't like Manchester United. It's there on the top of Stratford End. Adored, hated, but never ignored. So the idea we're leaving the game to referees, fuck that. Eat your dinner. Eat your dinner. Football is about goals, Andy. December Ronaldo fucking left. Right? It's about that white line, those 2 posts, that bar. And you know what? The more the ball crosses that fucking line, the more games you win. The fucking club told us, Andy, right? Club told us, right after Ronaldo, we're getting workers in, we're getting the other guy in, Sabitzer in, but we're saving all the money for the summer. Well, where the fuck is that money then? He wanted Kim Min-jae, he wanted Kane. Right. Right. So where is it then? So, Andy, the question is to you. Every manager is being hampered by the mediocre fucking bankers in charge of this football club. Can you believe it, people? Bankers from Bristol University are still running our football club. You can't make that shit up. Guys who met each other at university in Bristol are running our football club. This is what is jobs for the fucking boys. The owners don't give a fuck. They only ask about the money. They don't give a fuck about anything else, right? So we're run by this. Every manager, Van Gaal, they got him 5th choice, 6th choice players. They didn't back him. Moyes, they didn't back him. Jose, regardless whatever we think about these managers and they personally, none of them were backed. Is Tenhag, again, yet another fucking manager where the club are not listening to what he fucking wants, right? Or are we that type of football club, Andy, where we're never going to get any stability? We're never going to get anybody's getting out anything because we give too many coward footballers big fucking wages and then we can't sell anybody on. We can't move. Like, for example, I'll give it to you, Andy. Arteta, he wanted fucking Aubameyang out. He scored 100 or over goals or whatever he scored for Arsenal. See you later. Anything he wanted out, they got rid of him. Pep Guardiola at Man City, Klopp at Liverpool. Manchester United don't have that football structure. So how much can we put it on Tenhag, Andy? Other than the Mason Mount thing.
The Mason Mount thing is on Tenhag. But let's get this straight. In the last 12 months, he has ruthlessly got rid of Ronaldo. He has told David De Gea, arrivederci. He has dealt with Harry Maguire. That's 3 major things he has dealt with in his first 12 months. But
Maguire's still here. He's not fully dealt with him because he's still here and refusing to go. He's dealt with him in terms of getting him out of the team, but he's not dealt with him because now the player that he wanted, what is Pavard,
he can't help the club. No, he didn't. He was not here when that contract was signed. That is on another manager's watch. That is on another manager's watch, right? And within the last 12 months, the signings, A, B, this is what the Man United scouting structure. We've got A, B, and C for you here, Eric Tenhag. No, you know what? I've looked at them. No, I don't know. Why? I wanted Kim Min-jae, you didn't get me that. I wanted Harry Kane, you didn't get me that. I'll have Mason Mount. Fine, we'll get you that. That's fine. These players have not been delivered to him, but he's picking these players. And in the last previous regimes, it's been, we can get you this, we can get you that. The Man United scouting structure, and I say the recruitment structure is fucked. This summer, his recruitment is on Tenhag, right? He got Onana, and Man United bowed to him. They got Mason Mount, Man United bowed to him. He wanted Højlund, they have bowed to him. But there's still remnants of the previous regime that he can't control. This, like you say, he's gone to Harry Maguire and he's put it quite politely. You're not part of my plans. Now, Harry Maguire, yes, he has every right to dig his heels in and demand his pay cut. But if Erik Ten Hag was so fucking ruthless, Maguire would have been out the door. He would have come out and really bollocked him face to face. But he's trying to play nice. Maybe it's time to get nasty. Really get nasty. You know what? You will rot in the. You will rot. You will rot. You will not play. You will not travel with the team. And basically, Harry Maguire is his own fucking worst enemy. He will not play for fucking England because there's big Euros coming up as well. He will not play at all unless he's Gareth Southgate's fucking little plaything and best mate and little bitch. That's what basically is. That's the only way he's going to play. But there's good players coming up in that England squad for this season, and they're going to challenge him for this position for playing for England. But Erik Ten Hag, his decisions, his transfers, he has had all the power in the last 6, 7, 8, 9 months. So he lives by it and dies by it. I'll bollock him on Saturday. He made the wrong call with them performances, with them team selections. So now it's time for him to accept the criticism. They're coming for me. They're coming for me. Fucking the Ten Hag police. The Ten Hag police are coming for me. Fucking hell. But yeah. He is now. He is in control of this show. He has the remote. He has to make. He's making the choices. And like you say, I'm going to give him the 2-3 years, 4th year. You know what I mean? We ain't winning a fucking title. Our level is third to 7th. And if you're telling me, Nordin, you don't like the League Cup, if it's the League Cup again and 3rd, I will fucking happily have that. Happily fucking have the League Cup at Wembley. Me and Saeed will go with a ticket, and you can stay at home and watch it, mate. With your cat.
Listen, Andy, it's 100%, Andy. 100%. I will never be going to no League Cup.
Place, it's still progression. But if we have to revert back to what we are from last season, just to get some points on the board and get a trophy, I'm quite happily. But yes, it's on Ten Hag this season now. And it's on these players who are not delivering, my friend.
Big up, 100%. Bruce, I'm going to come to you. I just want to make a quick comment. Actually, this comment says it. As an outsider, in your objective, honest way, how do you see everything you know about Manchester United, yeah? Everything you know about me telling them, or some people will call it my propaganda. Well, my propaganda is the fucking, in a decade, we won 2 fucking League Cups, 1 fucking Europa, and an FA Cup, and I only recognize the fucking FA Cup. And Andy, the only trophy that's in a treble is the FA Cup, not a fucking League Cup. When the way I grew under Fergie, Andy, he used to play the kids. It's the way it is. But I understand we're not that football club anymore. So I might have to lower my standards. But for me, I'm about challenging for the league title and the Champions League. But Nora Beats, if you're as an outsider looking at this shit show, other than the Glazers leaving, other than us getting competent people who know how to operate, football operators at the helm, can you see us in any way coming back from this?
Yeah, only if the first team's philosophy needs to be throughout the club. There has to be a one philosophy for the whole club, so that way, irregardless of any manager in charge, you roughly play same amount of football, or the same style of football. So, with regards to I know at Liverpool, I know Liverpool quite well, that they even have now, because they switched to the fullbacks inverting. That's happening at the under 21 level now, and also happening at the under 18 level. I don't know if it's the same at Man United.
It is. We play the Ten Hag way throughout the youth team.
Yeah, so that needs to be sorted out. And with a director of football, I don't know who's your director of football. Is it Murta?
Murta Madness, they told me.
Yeah, so he needs, I don't know I don't know his qualification in football, but he needs to or that person that's occupying that position is probably the most important position for a club, where a club's philosophy or style of buying as well, who they buy for the manager or who they recommend for the manager, needs to be in line with what the managers or the club's philosophy, should I say.
You got to have played the game.
Exactly.
And I don't think Murtock he's a rugby guy. Our people upstairs have no football knowledge. The business people, I say, if you've played the game, I've played the game. I've heard on the telly. You know what I mean? I've heard that phrase many a time. I've played the game. But our people.
But even if you play the game, it doesn't guarantee. Manchester United need to get the best people who have got proven track records at different places and give them the football, give him all the power to make the changes.
It was him from Staley Bridge. He was at Southampton and he went abroad, didn't he?
Oh, Mitchell.
There's one possibly. Why didn't United get him in? Because
Andy, Manchester United don't like outsiders. People think
you know what? We got an outsider in. He exposed them for what they fucking are. And basically, the players, the club, the officials, they fucking shit themselves. Absolutely shit themselves. And do you know what? That's the best thing to have happened in the last 10 years at this club. He was a breath of fresh air, Ragnick.
Honestly, Ragnick, he had like a lot of, including me, he had me scared. I'm thinking if he becomes Man United's director of football, not manager, I don't think he was he does it anymore in management, but with his contacts and his clear way of wanting to play and the clear profiles that he had in his mind, you would have seen Man United honestly come back to a level that they haven't seen for a decade, as you said. Because a philosophy needs to be very clear that the person on top to all the way to the dinner lady can identify and understand. That's Man United.
That's what Fergie. That's Fergie.
They could be putting on like it's not going to happen yet. Don't kill me. They could put on Liverpool tops and they'd be like, no, that's Man United. Take that top off. That's how recognizable a team should be. And everyone, as I said, from the top to the dinner lady should be recognizing it. And that's
Liverpool. Everyone recognizes it at Liverpool.
100%.
At City, it's recognized. It's not. You can't see it, but you sense it. It's there. It's recognizable.
Andy, we were we were the print, but the blueprint. Fergie was the blueprint. Knew everybody's name who worked at that football club. Knew their families. Everybody. He was a director of football. He was the head of recruitment. He was the manager. He was the coach. He did it all. Right?
Yeah.
And that's a decade later, failure. After we were so far ahead, and you can put money on it, Nura Beats. If 10 years ago, when Fergie retired, if I would have told you then what the next decade is, you would never have believed it. That would be your wildest dreams. Be honest.
Fire up the DeLorean and put fucking bet on it.
No, we knew this. We knew this. We was like just hoping for Ferguson to retire. So as soon as he retired, it was like he's taking everything with him, man. And it happened. But the issue is coming back to Man United. What can Tenhag do? And I think, or the structure, what can they do to get that back? And I think a good blueprint is, although they haven't won anything, but a good blueprint is Arsenal, where they stuck with Arteta and his vision, and they gave him everything that he needed to change.
And your club, to be fair, and your club as well. Your club. Liverpool stuck with him. I remember Liverpool fans in my family were like, "Get this clown out of here." When you lost the Europa League final, they were like, "Get him out of here. We need to win trophies."
Yeah, and that narrative was like he loses finals. He's always the bridesmaid, never the bride. So, so he needs to be given the reins, and you'll see.
Please explain to people, Nurabi, when the club came into Liverpool, how many players did he get rid of?
He got rid of a lot. He got rid of a lot.
Over 30.
Yeah. He balls out this, that, the other.
He went even into the under 21s and just cleared them all out. So people that weren't fitting what he wanted, he cleared them all out. And a lot of people were saying, "Why you?" This is how crazy it was. He was getting rid of people so much that they were like, "Bro, you're not gonna have enough players to come out and play on 11. Like enough to play." And
you can't just sack them all.
Yeah, and he was like, "Listen, I'd rather have the dinner lady that's playing that adheres to what I want rather than think." And I was watching Henderson talk about him changing. Do you remember when Ragnick changed the timing from your training from mornings to evenings?
Yeah.
And so same thing happened with Klopp, where he changed it to even depending on the game. So if we had an evening game, he'll change the training a couple of days before to an evening training. And so some of the players weren't happy about it. And the only thing, Henderson went and talked to him and said, some of the players are not like it. He goes, who is it? And he goes, I'm not going to tell you any names, but it's quite a few of them. And he said, tell them anyone that's got a problem with the time of training, tell them to come see me themselves. And just that, all the players were like, oh, hell no, he's going to get rid of me if I go. So they were scared. They were scared, and that's what they need.
This is it. And now Erik Tenhag, to me, the big thing, Andy, in that structure, Erik Tenhag cannot be given the power one season. He has to have the power. He has to be the dictator. He has to be the dictator. In terms of the modern football, you need a strong director of football as well. You need a strong head of recruitment. At Liverpool, you're in trouble, Norabis, and you know it as well deep down, because you've lost your football structure. And now Klopp is doing it with his body from Wolfsburg to help him out only for this summer.
Yeah. And as we talked about it last week, it's because the vision, the direction of the club has become murky. Ever since they came out and say we want to sell the club or we want investment, one by one, key figures have left the club because there's no vision. And when there's no vision, and this is what we want to do in the next 5 years, I think for me, this is what I believe is Edwards left and some of the data guys left because usually for them, they need to plan 5-6 years in advance. If you're not guaranteeing them their budget or what they need to go forward in the next 5 years, they can't operate. They'll be like, well, it's too much uncertainty here. And so they leave.
But by the way, Norabis, you've just described the last decade of Manchester United. And now I'm so glad that Liverpool did the same. So, hey, you'll be down in the dumps with us, pal.
I go back to that Klopp interview when he's like, yes, we made a bid for Caicedo. Within 5 minutes, Caicedo, I want to go to Chelsea. And it was like, wow. That was like having control and losing control all in the space of 5 minutes with Klopp.
Yeah.
And Liverpool were the mean busters that weekend the other week. And I was like, what the hell is going on? It's absolutely crazy. Unbelievable. Even I had a chuckle and I thought, what? Yes, no. Oh.
Everybody likes stability and wants to see like a future vision. Everybody wants to get behind an idea. If that idea becomes murky and muddy, it becomes very difficult to get people on board and follow you towards what everyone's going to ask you. Follow you towards what? I don't see. You got to sell me the vision. And since Klopp doesn't know the vision because he doesn't know what budget he's working with or what directors are in, he's words become tainted as well. So maybe he's starting to lose a bit of control.
Well, all I'm saying is I welcome that lack of control because me and Andy were sitting there going, who do Liverpool remind you of right now? Because back in the day, it was that 2 days or 3 days before the news will come out, you link with that player. 3 days later, bam, deal done, sorted, dusted. The guy's holding up the shirt outside Anfield, done, dotted. There you go. The guy's at Melwood, boom, you signed the player. He's in the team the week after. He's banging in goals. That's what we used to expect from Liverpool. And now, you're in the mud with us. All together now, we're all in the mud. I welcome this.
We enjoy it.
But then parts of me doesn't, Andy. Parts of me doesn't welcome it because the only people who have actually give them those clowns across the road at the Etihad any run for their money is Liverpool. Who's gonna do it now, Andy? Because we're not doing it. Who's gonna fucking stop those lot?
Well, I'm sure I'll become Arsenal fans and fucking cheer for them this year. Hey. Copyright AFTV. Get Rob there. We'll do some favours for you. We'll wear some Arsenal shirts just to fucking get a reaction. You know what I mean? Fucking cheer on Arsenal to stop City winning 4 in a row. Fucking hell, how the world has gone down. How the world has fucking gone down, man. I'm telling you.
And you know what? Andy remembers the Battle of Old Trafford, right? I remember being told about the Battle of Old Trafford in 1990.
Pizzagate, yeah, I remember Pizzagate, man.
I get that was
pepperoni pizza.
Listen, Pizzagate was different. The battle was when the 22-man brawl with Winterburn and Brian McClare.
Yeah.
It's a famous game, people, where both clubs had players suspended. Both of us got fouled. It was like a crazy game. So Man United, Arsenal do not like each other. Fergie didn't like George Graham. George Graham didn't like Fergie. And they came through the players. So Arsenal is the last club. I just want thinking, Chelsea, if you want to win the league, I'm clapping for you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anybody said, man, since Do you know what? If Liverpool have to win it, I can live with that. I can
Andy.
live with Liverpool.
Andy, I can't sing 21 Man United. I can't, Andy. I can't.
I don't give
They're
a
gonna
shit.
kill that.
I don't want 4 in a row. I can fucking live with Liverpool winning the league this year.
Let's go.
Honestly, because you know what? I cheered when Man City when they stopped Liverpool winning a fucking quad. You know, I only cheered for 90 minutes. And the following year, basically, they fucking eclipsed everything we've ever done. And now they have a chance to be immortal.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 teams that have done 3 in a row. It's Man United. It's the great Arsenal side of 100 years ago. I think it was Huddersfield Town as well. So somebody has to step up to the marker. Otherwise, football is just going to be blue forever for the next 50 fucking years.
There you go. Listen, it's been a wicked show, people. We've done it. We've covered the Mason Greenwood thing. It's a lot of people. It's dividing people. But at the end of the day, just to summarize, if you ain't guilty, if the United say he's not guilty, why is he leaving the football club? It don't make sense. PR jargon. The PR jargon is the PR jargon, people, because that's what the world is now. It's PR. It's trying to appease everybody. At the end of the day, make it make sense. In terms of the football structure, we're in the fucking mud. Mayor to madness, they told me. Mayor to madness. We've got our business sorted.
No, can I just ask one more thing? Is his contract going to be terminated, or are they going to sell him? Because
Well, what they said in the statement, Andy, is that they're going to help Mason to move along from Manchester United. That's the biggest thing. So for me, they're going to pay him off, but they're going to send him a loan, or they're going to do something to pay his wages anyway, even if they send him a loan to abroad. I'm saying to you,
that smells of a transfer fee as well.
Exactly.
You can look into that and that statement. That smells of a transfer fee. So Man United is still going to make money out of this.
Yeah. Listen, Craig, what a night, eh? If that's the night, if I'm thinking that night in Rotterdam.
Yeah,
the night in Rotterdam, Brian McClare, mate. I remember leaving home, Claremont Primary School. Only 4 of us in my year were United fans. Everybody else was City fan. Do you know why? Because City was across the road from where the primary school I went to. 4 of us were United fan. Everybody else was City fan. And
your mum always said, never cross that main road. Your mum always said that. Never cross that main road, son.
Never. And there we go. Big up Craig. We said, great show, lads. Big up Craig. Love and light always. Thank you for the super chat. Big up to everybody who gave the super chat. At the end of the day, Andy, he's leaving. Whatever by it, whether it's loan, whatever, he's leaving. He is leaving this football club. And if he was innocent and all of this, and if they believe or not, release the evidence, because it's just incompetence. And for me, the board need to get the sack. For even try to tempt it out, they need to get the sack. They put Manchester United Football Club onto distribute. That's what they've done.
He's not going to play in England. He's not going to play in England. It will have to be abroad for him to get a football career.
I can't see it. Can you imagine the next football club, the next man who's going to sign him? Big up the trainer says, hey, Nuruddin, just tuned in. I heard you say I can live with Liverpool winning the league. Look at what Man United is doing to us. No, it was Andy said that because Andy does not want City to do the Holy Grail, mate, to win 4 titles, 4 league titles. Like he said,
he's loving this. Our friend is loving this. You see that spirit behind that smile.
No, man, I hate City as well, man. After battling them for the last few years, I don't want no success for them.
The great white shark.
And did you remember when they used to listen? And did you remember when Liverpool fans and City fans used to go, "Oh, we don't mind each other"? Remember when they used to hold hands as to try to hate on Manchester United?
the old like, run down the street, la di da di da. That Liverpool smashed the coach. When Man City had the coach trash, fucking 80s, let's have it.
Yeah. After they got their Champions League, we're not friends anymore, man. We're not friends.
This is it. But genuinely, what he's saying is that nobody's done the 4 in a row. That's what Andy's saying. He's saying, I'd rather let Liverpool win. And I'm a bit like, ooh. It's like, I have to chop off my right hand, or do I chop off my right leg? Like, what do I have to do? It's like, that's what it is to me. Because I'm like, I still want to sing. I want to go to this Old Trafford and sing 20 times, Man United. 20 times, I say. That's what I want to sing. But if Liverpool win the league, I can never sing that.
You can still sing that. Just add Liverpool as well to it.
Nah, no chance. No chance. Ain't singing, Jack. So what we're saying is that what other teams can stop Liverpool? Sorry, stop City. To me, come on, Pochettino. Come on, Chelsea. Because you know what? You're not winning. You're not in any Europe. You're not playing in any Europe. Go on out there. Go for the league. Forget the FA Cup. Forget the League Cup. Go out for the league.
They're not ready.
Go out for the league.
You got 1 week for every week to prepare for every game. Take it a step at a time, 7 days a week, 1 game at a time.
And they shit the bed against Moise.
West Ham.
To be fair, did you see the pressure? Did you see how this is what money's done to kids? Did you see the amount? This is what transfer fees are doing to players. Did you see Casado's face? He's not like he's 25-year-old experienced player. He was coming on the pitch, praying before he got on the pitch, praying after the game because he's like, boy, he knows he's not worth 115 million. He knows that's ludicrous. He just needs to get in and play his game. But what happened? He had one of the worst debuts. And then that happened. He gave away a penalty. But to be fair, in the first half, let's be right here.
Yeah.
Chelsea, look, if Manchester United play like Chelsea and lost, I'm not going to lie to you. You wouldn't have me moaning because Chelsea dominated fucking Moise. They just couldn't finish. They couldn't eat their dinners.
Chelsea are blank. Chelsea got a lovely shirt with no sponsor. That should be the drive. Champions above it. At the end of the day, you get champions printed on it.
And exactly. Won't. And they've spent $1 billion, but not on a fucking guy who can put the ball at the back of the fucking net.
Imagine that, and that's the hardest thing.
$1 billion in a year, and you haven't got somebody who can put the ball at the back of the net.
Chelsea or Liverpool for the league, and it's better than the devil, you know.
Facts.
Listen, it is what it is, people. Love and light. Casemiro got dribbled. Casemiro has been dribbled past 6 times this season. Bruno with 7, Mount with 4. Oh, listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is because there's no press in it. We're not hunting in packs. Listen, big up Paul Waterburn. He says, love it, lads. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks to everybody. Listen, we covered it all. We covered the Mason. We covered Tenhag is under pressure. We've said the club is in shambles. We're a comedy FC. I said it a long time ago. People laughed at me and said, Manchester United had a Netflix special. Not because we want to be. The fans, we don't. We love our club. I swear to God, you will see me change, people. When we get rid of the Glazers, you will see me change because then I'll come out with my chest. And I'll be like, right, boys, we're back in it game. We've got owners who play against us every week. And the clowns might be staying. If they think they're staying, and big up for 1958, by the way, I just want to leave you with this message. This last message, I just want to leave you. I want to leave you with this message, yeah? This is the message, and the message is clear from 1958. They said this, after the announcement of today, from this 18-month fiasco, it's clear how incompetent this ownership on board is. The board needs to resign. Glazers needs to sell. This wasn't their intended decision. Saturday is your chance to use your voice. Sit in 60 minutes. Glazers out. There we go, people. Big up Andy. Make sure you follow Andy, by the way. Check Andy out. Andy Tate. He's not that Muppet Andy Tate, people. He's the real Andy Tate. He's the real Andy Tate. That went famous before the other Muppet Andy Tate. So make sure you follow him on Instagram.
At least he didn't get arrested for
not the guy who got arrested.
He didn't get arrested for ordering a pizza. That's his fucking predicament.
Andy likes to go to a different pizza shop, and he likes to go to the shop to collect it. He doesn't order it that often. So let's put it this way: he likes his pizza fresh. He'll go and sit in Pizza Hut and eat it, no problem. The big thing is this: follow him there on Instagram. Andy Tate, the real Andy Tate, not the other Muppet. And Nura Beats football analysis. He was super objective. We got to give this prop because the brother could have come in here and tried to cook us. But he knows he's not that type. So go and check out his football channel. Nura Beats football analysis. Follow him at Nura Beats on Twitter and on Instagram, all across all social media as well. And make sure you go and check out the Straight Jacket podcast. 242, I think. Or 43. I think it might be 43. 243. Go and check it out. We had our say. We disagreed and agreed with a couple of things. At the end of the day, Tenhag, he's the man. We got to back him. But Tenhag, you need to show the fans something to back, mate. You need to show or get rid of these clowns or play the fucking kids. And Andy has said that many a time throughout the years. If these clowns don't want to fucking listen to you, play the fucking kids. Because you know what? We can have an adventure with the kids at least, Andy. We can have a fucking adventure with the youngsters. Give the light. If people are not listening to you, give fucking Daniel Corr a chance. Give him a fucking chance. It is what it is. And Maguire, you're pathetic. I don't know you personally, but honestly, you throwing away playing football week in, week out. You're already a multimillionaire, mate. You're a multimillionaire. How much money, more millions do you need?
When you leave this life, you're not going to fucking take it with you, Maguire. Put it that way.
It is what it is. Nura Beats, listen, is there anything where people can follow you, bro? Anywhere else?
That's it. Just those things that you said, YouTube and X or Twitter, whatever it's called nowadays.
Still
Twitter. I bet you can't believe what I said. They still be shaking afterwards, man. Be tweeting that out. Andy Tate wants us to win the league. He can live with it. Yeah,
Andy, you've been clipped, you know.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit because we ain't winning the league this year. We ain't. Unless something really fucking dramatic happens.
Listen, we're on a miracle. Listen, top 4 is looking dodgy now, Andy. It's only 2 fucking games, mate. Top 4 is looking dodgy, mate.
It's top 5 this year.
3 points better off than we was fucking last year after 2 games.
Hey, look on the positive. Always look on the bright side of life. I never want to sing that. That's been the soundtrack to Manchester United in the last fucking decade, mate.
Always look on the facts.
Is that the anthem for the toxic positivity, guys? Yes?
That's what it is, mate. I'm telling you, that's the anthem. Listen, big up. Andy, anything else? You're on a Stretford. You're going to the game on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be there Saturday. I'll say I'm doing the Stretford paddock. I'm on the Man United agenda. I'm on the Man United agenda in about 40 minutes. So quick cup of tea, some cereal, and I'm back on the game at half 8 till half 9 on the Man United agenda. If you want to tune in, you find me there.
That's it. Go and check Andy out on there. Let's see what he says when he tells the boys that he's decided he'll take Liverpool to win the league. Let's see what the Manchester United agenda guys think. Listen, it's a disgrace. We've had over 350 people in this at one point. We've only got 171 likes. I'm sorry,
Shame
but you
on
need to get the likes, people.
Shame
likes
on you, free. Absolute muppets, cretins.
Absolutely. Listen, smash a like. Smash a absolute like on the show, people. Let's go. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, like the channel. Make sure you check Andy out. And make sure you check Nora Beats out as well. I've been your host, Mr. Structure. We're still waiting for that structure. Murder Madness, people. Where are you? I'm waiting. And I still can't see you. Win, lose, draw. Glaze us out. Bank us out. On an amazing thing, we're done now. The conversation's over. He's no longer a Manchester United player. When he becomes a Manchester United player again, if he ever does, we'll discuss it then. But that conversation's over. If he's innocent, he should have sued Manchester United, take them to court, reduce the evidence that he's innocent, and fight for his reputation. But he's not, is he? Ta-da, people. We lose or draw, Glazers out, bankers out. They need to resign. The clowns need to resign. Remember, Glazers out always. And go and check out the 1958 as well. Their message is clear. Sit in for 60 minutes. Peace, love, light. Take care. Ta-da.